Okay, this is amazing because this is going to be a great piggyback video on the last one I did that went over so well. I can't believe it, but we'll get into that in a little bit later. But this is I found this like a few hours after I posted that. This is great. So I'm on one of these little Islamic websites here. It is not haram for a man to urinate standing up, but it is sunnah for him to urinate sitting down because Aisha, now who is Aisha? Aisha is one of Muhammad's wives. So because Aisha, may Allah be pleased with her, said, whoever tells you that the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, used to urinate standing up, do not believe him. He only ever used to urinate sitting down. All right? Now let's do another one here. Here's a completely different site. The Prophet Muhammad would take so much care to seclude himself that Al-Shubah, now who is Al-Shubah? Al-Shubah, one of the more prominent companions of Muhammad. So the Prophet Muhammad would take so much care to seclude himself that one of his best buddies said, I was traveling with the Prophet. When he needed to relieve himself, he went far away from me. Yeah, because maybe he was trying to keep a secret. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, always sat down to relieve himself. This is proven by Aisha, who is constantly in his presence. She said, don't believe anyone that tells you the Prophet used to stand while urinating. He always used to sit down. There's more of that. Here's a different site. Let's take a look at some of the things that Muhammad taught about excrement and going to the bathroom. Number 13, pee sitting down. Whoever pees standing up will go straight to hell when they die. Now let's talk about this, and I'll get into why I'm connecting these two. Why images of Muhammad offend Muslims. This is a few years ago on CNN. Prohibitions against depicting the Prophet Muhammad may mystify many non-Muslims, but it speaks to a central tenet of Islam, the worship of God alone. While the Quran does not explicitly prohibit depictions of Muhammad, most contemporary Muslims worldwide abide by the ban based largely on religious rulings by Islamic scholars. Yep, you're not really allowed to depict Muhammad in drawings, cartoons, pictures. That's why that whole Charlie Hebdo thing a few years ago in France took place. They made a cartoon, drew out Muhammad, and Muslims got pissed off, supposedly went there and shot the place up. I'm not even arguing with the story, don't need to. That's what they said. And why I think this is, why I think the guy was apparently really secluded himself whenever he went to the bathroom, except for his wife or wives, who all they had to do, hey, you speak out, you're killed. And why you're not depicted of drawing Muhammad, personal theory, because the guy was a woman. Maybe that's why. Because women sit down when they pee, not men. Why can't you draw pictures of them? And isn't it funny that you got Jesus, the majority of the time that guy's depicted, he's in a robe or a dress and he's got long hair. And Muhammad himself specifically forbade teaching that the sun was feminine. So that alone right there, a big red flag. When they tell you not to look into something, that's when you should look into something. So to me, it's a big secret that they're trying to cover up that it's not a man's world, it's a woman's world, and it's the feminine energy that's really running things around here. That's the deep internal inside energy. The Egyptians said the rays of light that came down were from man, or excuse me, not from man, but the rays of light from the sun were masculine, but what was going on deep inside the sun, the internal stuff, was feminine. It's the chaotic energy, but you can embrace the chaos, it's okay. And me personally, I think that's why men, the men that do go bald, I think that's why, because they have more feminine energy than some men, and that's the energy shorting out. But that's just personal speculation. Women mature quicker than boys. They hit puberty before boys do because that energy is intense, man. It's crazy. And here's the thing, too. This is from that last video I did. I mean, this really is great to me. This really piggybacks perfect. It's another reason to really look into the sun being feminine. But there were so many, it was called 369, the Constellations and Jill Mama. And not even that video, just the comments alone were so terrific. I mean, so many people saying some really, check those out, because I mean, there were people that really expounded upon that and really nailed some great things home and tied some great things together and made some great connections and more evidence. And this is and one right here I'm going to show you, because seriously, not to exaggerate or anything, this is seriously one of my favorite pieces of the puzzle ever. So Angela, couldn't give you a bigger hug. if you let me. I mean, this was amazing. I mean, what great, great, terrific work. I can't believe I never even looked this up until now. This is ridiculous, but this is how it works. We can't all remember to do everything. That's why we all have pieces. We all have to work together to make this puzzle work. You can't do it on your own. You got to be guided by the force you cannot see, whether you call it the Father, the Spirit, the Creator, your higher spirit, your higher self, the higher mind, whatever. And you work together to get it figured out. But the word matrix literally means uterus or womb, and also means mother. I mean, boom. So we are in the matrix, we are in the womb, we are in mother's womb, and you either learn and you're birthed out, aka, ever heard of it, born again? You're either born again or you're left in the womb to learn your lesson, and you'll go round and round and round until you do. Really cool stuff, man. That was a real surprise, a shock, and that's what, hey, that was a shocker, baby, and that's great because that's what we got doing. We got Uranus going into Taurus, switching signs next month, and whether it's the Taurus or not, because I am using the tropical Western astrology, but the point I'm just trying to make, it's changing signs, and Uranus is known for being shocking and game-changing. So that was a pretty big shocker to me to see that last video go over so well, and to get the incredible feedback and comments that I got. Like, oh man, good work everybody, for real. That was a really nice surprise. So real cool stuff here, I thought, man, really did. Wanted to share it. Thank you to my subscribers out there.